Okay.
Okay. Hey, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to you. My name is James Sanderson, and it's my massive pleasure to host the Zoom call this evening. I know we've got people from all over the world. Most particularly, of course, we've got our fantastic special guest, Adam, joining us. So thank you, Adam, for joining us. We appreciate that so much. Just to say that for those people who don't know me, I've been involved with the company now for 27 years. It's been an extraordinary adventure, but it just continues to get better and better all the time. And I've never seen at a time like the present for the potential that we have in our graph. So it's amazing. So the call will last about 30 minutes, about 30, 40 minutes. What we're going to do in a moment is I'm going to hand over to James Knight, and he's going to interview Adam and ask him some questions. And then we'll open up toward the end for some questions. So if you've got questions, you might want to write those down. But in the meantime, if you could just mute yourself, first of all, so that we don't get any background noise, and then we are clear for every bit of fantastic information from Australia tonight. So, James, are you there?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so take it away. I'm going to ask everybody else just to mute themselves, myself included, in just a moment. So, James, if you just take it away, obviously introduce yourself a little bit, then ask Adam to introduce himself, background, and then we'll get into the questions.
Yeah, no problem.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Ready.
Here we go.
Okay, guys.
Over to you.
Yeah. Just like to say thanks everyone for jumping on. I know everyone's got a busy life, and we've got people from all over the world. We've got two guys from Australia. Just see Mike and obviously Adam. It's early hours in the morning, so thanks, a massive thank you for getting out of your bed to do this call for us. Yeah, if the ones who don't know me, I've been in the business now for just over 5 years. My background is sports science and strength and conditioning, professional rugby teams. And joining the business was secondary to actually learning about the product and falling in love with the product. But before that, I had huge skepticism, which is great because the guy who I've got coming on the call tonight is pretty much one of them, very similar backgrounds. And over the last 5 years, my whole life has changed. It's been ups and downs, but like any business, the great thing is it's extremely low investment with massive reward. So it really, the pros always outweigh the negatives in every stretch of the imagination. I'm very excited tonight because the guy who I'm introducing tonight, I actually met at the famous Peabody Hotel in Memphis, an American conference. In October. It took me about 4 weeks to recover from it, but I got into the hotel, and the first people I bumped into was Dr. Sheree, and she introduced me to these amazing Australian team that are just taking the world by storm. A lot of guys are in the health profession, but I think there was something like 75 Australians flew over to Memphis, and that's one hell of a journey to get to that conference. And ever since then, in the last, say, 8-9 months, their businesses have just absolutely skyrocketed. And it's really, really exciting. But I've been watching Adam after getting to know and partying with him in Memphis. I've been watching him and his team just grow and real exciting posts on social media. Very, very much health focused, which is what our team is all about. And I know that he can relate to you because of his his huge drive and focus from a health background, but also why he's doing it for him and his family as well. So Adam, welcome to the call. And again, thanks very much for helping our new team members out in Australia. It's been great. But what I'd like to do is just ask you a few questions that I feel that would resonate with the crowd on this call. Obviously, we want to hear your story first. So first off, just let us know a little bit about your background. And I know you were skeptical about the product at first, but why did you decide to take the product?
Yeah, thanks, James. Thanks for having me on, guys. I really appreciate it. I feel really honoured. I'm definitely not someone special, so it's nice to get invited to do these sort of things. I think for me, look, Juice Plus come into our life about 3, maybe even 4 years ago now. I've been a personal trainer for about 15 years. And look, I think as a personal trainer or a health professional, you get lots and lots of products brought to you. And probably before got to give credit to my wife now. When I was before meeting her, I was kind of like most personal trainers. I didn't know much about health. I knew how to get people skinny and buffed. But if any time a product come in our way, I'd hand it over to my wife because she was very holistically minded. She was into holistic health. And, when I first met her, I thought she was just this crazy, hot looking hippie. Really, I really just quit like some of the things that were coming out of her mouth about different foods and whey protein and things like that. So when I really looked into it, I was really inspired about health, and that's what I was passionately driven to share. And so when Juice Plus come into our life, just a lady by the name of Linda Everton, she walked into one of my gyms, and some of you guys might know her. She just went NMD 100 Club here in Australia, and I just took the product off her. I said, look, give me a look at it. I'll take it home to my wife. And to be honest, I thought she'd just find what was wrong with it, like she did everything else. There's carcinogen in this and this chemical. And to be honest, Juice Plus was just that product that she couldn't find anything wrong with it. She loved the product. And so when I asked her what she wanted to do with it, she said, I've already ordered some. And I was like, what do you mean you've already ordered some? We're going to start selling it at the gym. And she said, no, we're going to start taking it at home. And to be honest, guys, the product, to be honest, I always loved Juice Plus. I really got that it wasn't a synthetic multivitamin. It was a whole food capsule. But the business side, I didn't get it. I honestly thought that to do a business like this, you had to run around and, flog product to your mates and invite your mates around for things and try to rope them into something. And although there's a few mates I wouldn't mind getting rid of, I didn't really want to lose all my mates over doing a business. So, we said no. It wasn't for me. Become really good friends with James, Linda's husband, and Linda, and it kind of Juice Plus was something that I just refer my clients to if they're taking multivitamins. I'd sort of say, stop wasting your money. You can tell by the colour of your urine you're not absorbing it, and take Juice Plus. And I would just connect people with Linda. That's kind of how it all started. And like I said, we become really good friends. And it wasn't until about maybe 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago now, Linda started to share some stories about some crazy growth that had been going on in the UK. And she met some of you guys in April in 2014 in the US conference. And when she came back from there, she said to me, I remember her ringing me and she said, you've got to see what these kids are doing. And to be honest, I still didn't want to do Juice Plus. I thought, I've always been in traditional business. I'm ambitious. I want to have freedom in my life. And, since having kids and, having a wife, it was all right when I was single and I could work 60, 70 hours a week. It didn't really matter. But once you have kids and a wife, you kind of want to spend time with them. And I never thought that my traditional business could really deliver on that. And so I went along to check out what these young guys were doing because I'd heard some amazing growth. And again, I still wasn't, I didn't go to check out what they were doing on the basis of I thought that I'd come away wanting to do Juice Plus. I was kind of the massive skeptic at the back of the room. I had my arms crossed, and I met a young guy by the name of Chris Fielding, which probably many of you guys know. And he Skyped into Linda's house. There was about 8 of us there, and I kind of, after I saw what, the way he shared the products and the business, and I think the one thing I got straight away is our business is not about selling to people. It's just about helping people. And that was something that resonated with me straight away. I love helping people. It's something I've done for many years. And, I was a personal trainer. I owned 3 PT studios here on the coast. And I can tell you, I wasn't in it for money because as much as I'd like to say I made hundreds of thousands of dollars doing personal training, I don't believe there's that money in any industry where you're trading time for money. You're very reliant on individual people, and it was just always a roller coaster. Depending on who stuck around and who didn't, and all that stuff. So, I just honestly, when I saw what you guys were doing from the UK, really presenting not only the product but the business, and really about sharing it with people that are looking for a better way or a way to improve their health. I just considered what if. I really did. I just thought, what if this could be? So Chris said over Skype, he said, I'm coming out next week. And I thought, wow, this kid's living a good life if this is his life, because I know he'd spent a month in America before that. So I came back, had a look again, and I think the first thing that when I decided I was going to do it, the first thing that Chris said to me, he said, "Are you taking the product?" Was the first thing, and I was a bit like, well, sort of. We've had it at home for a long time. I remember telling him, and he said, "No, you're taking it." And I said, most of the time. And he goes, "You need to start taking the product properly and really feel the benefits so you can share your own story." And I think, when I really got the two things is that our business is about really just, we get paid to share stories, but we also, it's about helping people. So that's kind of how my journey started. And since then, look, it's changed our life. It's crazy. Like I said, I used to own 3 PT studios. I don't own any anymore. I've got out of that business, again, because it never could deliver on what I wanted. And now I pretty much do just plus full time, which, my wife and I kind of pinch each other, and our life has changed so much because of this vehicle and what it can give us.
Great. I mean, that's fantastic. A lot of what you're saying, it has huge, I relate to so much of that. I mean, I quit my full-time job because of Juice Plus, and it allowed me to invest in my own passions, a bit like yourself. So, I mean, what has it done for you and your family and with your children? What has this business done for you guys in particular?
Oh, look, to say it's changed our life is an understatement. I think, I think I had a big reason why, and I probably didn't realize right in the beginning when I started Juice Plus. I just knew that I've always been ambitious. I've always been wanting to train. And I did personal training because I wanted to do something that I love to do. I don't want to wake up and dread having to go to work. That's something that I was never prepared to do. And, but again, it still couldn't deliver on what I really wanted in my life. I just ended up, and because I own 3 studios, the last thing I was doing is training anyone. But if you want to run a business, you got to work on it, not in it. So, like a traditional business. And so, since doing Juice Plus, I love that I don't have any staff. I love the staff I used to have, don't get me wrong, but we had 20, 25 trainers, and that was like having a kindergarten. I just, when people tell me about their traditional business ideas, internally, I can't help to cringe a little and just think all the hours that go into that. This business really can deliver on the ideal lifestyle. Hours a week maximum. It's an unlimited earning potential. The bigger it gets, the less that you work, because it's leveraged income. And I think, for us to be out for every morning, to be able to wake up and have my kids jump on me every morning and be home for dinner every night, that's something that I wasn't able to do for many, many years. And it just hurt, growing up, my dad was never around. All he did is work. And I probably didn't realize how much that really tore me as a young kid until I went and did some self-development about 2-3 years ago. And I cried like a baby for about 3 days about how my dad didn't care about me, and he never saw me. I played sport at a really high level in multiple sports, and I never understood why I'd give up on a sport that I'd hit a high level and then want to go and do just something randomly and start all over again. And I really realized what I was doing was trying to chase to get, to hear my dad say he's proud of me and be around. So, I don't want my kids growing up like that. I want to be around for my kids. And, if someone had told me 18 months ago that, well, tomorrow we're off to Nashville, if someone had told me that I'd be leaving my kids at home with their grandma, I'd be taking my wife to America for 2 weeks, spend a week in New York, I would have said they were on drugs. Like, there's no way I can do that. Our traditional business didn't allow us to get away and do that sort of stuff. So, my kids, when they talk about what they're grateful for these days, they often say that Daddy's home every day, that he gets to sit on our lap, we get to go and, go play football at lunchtime and have lunch together every day and all that sort of stuff. So, it really has changed our life, and the quality of our life is crazy.
So the things you're saying there is I've heard thousands and thousands of people all over the world say, in only 5 years I've been here, that's something that really hits home to me, is allowing parents to actually watch their children growing up, and that's that freedom. So obviously being in the business for a certain amount of time now, but when did you first start seeing the success? And obviously now you're getting like vertical growth now, which I've noticed. What do you think the fundamental factor of why that started to happen, when you started to see the success, that leverage income? Why?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I really feel like I got this thing very early on. You know, our compensation plan is a little different to you guys, but you know, I've only been doing the business for about 16 months now. I think I'm like, I think it's like I'm at NMD 50 club now, but in the first 10 weeks, I got to SSC and made about 10 grand in my first 10 weeks. But from the beginning, the thing that resonated with me, that Chris taught me, that this business isn't about me. It's about helping other people. And I really got that from the start. It wasn't about who could I recruit, who'd be good for my business. It was about who do I want to share this with, that I want to help change their life. You know, the position I was in, I was trading time for money. I never could see a window out of that. And to be honest, I just thought about other people that were like me, the people that would resonate with me, that, you know, me sharing my frustrations and why this made sense to me and honestly, it resonated with other people around me that were similar. I just share my story. And, you know, when I first met Chris, you know, he said it's about sharing stories. And I remember saying to him, man, I don't have a story. Like, what do you mean have a story? And he goes, you do have a story. Your story is what you're frustrated about, what your challenges are. And your other story is, your story is my story, that I'm teaching you the business. I want to let you know that I've got nothing to do with Chris's business. We still stay in contact, but he was so, and I think that's what I love about this company. Everyone is so open to share and help one another. There's a very abundant mentality within the Juice Plus company, and it's, you know, I've heard of other MLM companies, and I find it a fascinating business, and I think it's such a smart business model. But when you speak to other companies, they think you're crazy that you're talking to other teams, and it blows me away that people are still so scarcity driven. When you think abundantly and try to help as many people, and I think don't get attached to the outcome. You know, just share with people and really come from that space. And if you come from that space of caring, then you don't care. You're really not caught up in if people want to do this or not. And those that, you know, I will often say to people, even at an event, I'll just say, you know, I really don't care who wants to do this. My job is to inspire and help those that want to do this. And if you want to do this and you want to come on this ride, I'm here to help you. And if you don't, and you're happy with your life and you just want to keep doing that, then I'm cool for that too. And I think people will respect that. And to be honest, guys, when you have that abundant mentality, you attract the right people. People want to be a part of that because you're not desperate. And I honestly think that's one of the biggest keys about our business.
Yeah, great. I mean, what I got from that was don't get attached to the outcome, and that's just an amazing way of looking at whenever you prospect. The first thing you want to think of is don't get attached to the outcome, and the bigger your business gets, the easier and more simpler it becomes, and it's about helping others, you know, and finding people that are like you, and that's really cool because they'll instantly relate to you. So we're really like daily action plans where we have days of the week where we have certain Zoom calls, and we're trying to get obviously the teams to really buy into the system of which we have weekly Zoom calls, events, and a strategy in place. So with your team, I know you have weekly systems in place. Can you just explain to us sort of what you do on an average week with your team in relation to Zoom calls, meetings, whatever?
Yeah, we do. I think first and foremost, because our business is, I love systems. I think, you know, when you're in traditional business, if you don't have systems, you don't have a business. I think, we do our training call every week. So we, because the message of teaching the teach and just passing on the teaching is so important in our business. I think if you don't have a in my experience, if you don't have something that everyone can come back to and keep listening to the same message, it ends up being a bit like Chinese whispers. And what you passed on to someone, and you look about 5 deep, and it's nothing like. People are doing things totally upside down to what has built the growth. So every Monday night here in Australia, we do a team training call, but I do 2 calls. I actually do one that is for all the newbies. We call that a Start Strong to SDVF, which I think over there you guys call that SDD.
Yeah.
And so we just go over the basic fundamentals of this business. And, I always say to people, if you're serious about this business, then events are really important. And one of the events that are really important is our Zoom training call. We do that all through Zoom. It's really easy to do. We kind of, just crack on about we talk about DMO, and I talk about the 4 high-paying activities that I feel like, I think we all do this in our soul moments, and we'd all like to do this full time, but not many of us get to do that in the beginning. And I think the art of it is just finding pockets of time where you do stuff, and when you do stuff, that you focus on the stuff that gets you momentum. And we just talk, the 4 that I always talk about is reaching out to people. It's such a relationship business. If you're not talking to people, then how are you going to share this? The next is sharing. Social media is such an amazing way to share your experience and feelings and create curiosity. It's not about, I don't feel like social media is there to sell. People don't go to get on Facebook to buy stuff. They get there to communicate and interact with people. So just sharing your experience, being real. Following up on people is obviously a high-paying activity. And the 4th one is events. So in the beginning, I think, definitely encouraging people that they're getting on as many events as possible, and they're building on their belief. They hear the stories. And then, I think, and then we have a normal team training call after that. And so we'll have special guests on, and probably similar to what this is, just, again, brings everyone back home to the message. There for, for everyone to feel connected to, because our business is such a global business. I just think you're going to have all the people around. You're going to have many people around you doubting you and questioning you, and I think it just brings everyone back home, and they realise that they are onto something, and it's all good, and it takes time, and we all have the same challenges. So I think they're kind of the fundamentals, and then obviously the event that we do. We've been doing pretty much the same event for the last 16 months, but now with obviously Zoom. I'm definitely encouraging as many team members to step up and learn the event, and then put on their own events inside their teams, and whether they do that face to face in a public type of area, or they do that over Zoom, whatever they feel comfortable with.
Right. I mean, what we're working on now is we're having every Monday night our team Zoom call, collective, to build it, and then on a Thursday night a team training call, i.e. product and business. We want to obviously keep that as regimented as possible to allow as many people to buy into it. And everyone on this call tonight, obviously you buy into Zoom. Everyone now just got one person on the call next week, and so forth. It will just keep growing and duplicating, which is all about business. So having that system in place is, I feel, very crucial, and I know everyone on the call, and James and Gordon and Sue, the senior members, will value it so immensely. But also, it's your DMO, your daily action plans, which you were saying then about, daily you'll be reaching out to people, building relationships, sharing your reason why and your experiences. The fortunes in the follow-up, which is really, really important to understand. If you're not following up, you're never going to get the yes. And events, one-to-one, Zoom calls, get into the big conferences, get into the smaller team events. These are all money earning activities. And something that I heard a while back was, all you guys are in your day jobs to pay your bills, but what are you doing in your spare time to earn your fortune? And this is why I finish, my other business early in the day, so I can get on these Zoom calls and work with my team and build my fortune where most people are watching TV or down the pub. So we've got to take that vision and do what the 3%, the 3% of the population do, the high earners do, and that's not waste their time. So next question, So what would be, when you sign up a distributor, what's the stage in which you actually sign them up, in the sense of what would be the next stages for them? How would you progress them over the first 60, 90 days?
In the ground, find their purpose, what is it that they want to get out of this, and make that, are they aware of that? Do they? Because at the end of the day, guys, you do this business, you're going to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to do stuff that you might avoid, whether it be talking to people, following people up. You might want to watch a TV show. And then it's about vying between. That's what we compete with, guys. Everyone's a volunteer, and unless they've got purpose and reason, then and they're not going to do stuff. You can't make anyone do anything. Our business is not about motivating people or telling people what to do. It's about inspiring people that there is a better way. And if you can find the time and you stay focused on what brought you here, then there's a good chance you'll get there. So I think, to be honest, when I get people started, and I actually just I stole it straight out of GoPro by Eric Warray. He talks about the game plan interview. I really, I've done a little video that our team can go and check in, and we talk about, if over the first couple of months a certain amount of money was to land in your bank account, and if that's what's important to them, what would that look like, and how many hours a week would they be prepared to spend, on a week-to-week basis. And we always talk about that our business is about consistency more than who can work the hardest or the longest. It's about being consistent in this game. So getting people to set a realistic expectation of what they feel like they can do. Because we're all different. It's important that we don't compare ourselves with other people, because we don't know each other's situation. I think once you've got someone inspired, then you never have to make anyone do anything, because they'll do the stuff. They'll get on the team training calls. They can taste it. And I think even when you're following people up, you're talking to them in the language in the way that what they're inspired by. I'm keen to help you keep building on your holiday fund. I'm keen to help you keep working on your freedom plan to spend more time with your family. It resonates with them. It keeps reminding them what brought them here. Rather than, hey, I want to get you on the phone and do some more training. Well, most people don't want to do that part. But if you remind them why they're here, then generally they're like, yeah, I definitely want to do that. I want to help you pick up the early bonuses. Are you keen to do that? Yeah, I'd love to. Let's get together and do that. So I think you've got to be smart in the way that we speak to people, and then just really making them aware that our goal is to help them become independent of us as quickly as possible. In the first couple of months, our job is to teach them and hold their hand step by step, not do it for them, and let them know that, you're here to help them so they can become independent, and then they can start to teach other people how to do the business, because that's where the magic in this business is duplication and teaching and doing that. So that's kind of how we get people started. And obviously DMO is a big important part of that, just teaching people, inspiring them what they want to do on a day-to-day basis.
Great. Okay, so daily method of operation. So what I got from that was basically, when you sign a distributor up, you've got to find their purpose, find what resonates with them, find what their goals are. Okay, what's important to them, not so much what's important to you. Definitely, I love the whole inspire, not motivate. I heard a great saying once: you can't push rope. So if you're not if you're not inspiring them with what you can offer them, then maybe it's probably never going to work for them. A consistent DMO is so important. Like I say, they try and stick to something every single day, like you said, working towards their freedom plan, which I love. Being realistic with what they want, being realistic with their expectations at first, and getting them, to be able to go out there and teach others. Because once you do that, they're going to do the business with or without you. And that's great, because then you are independent. So that's awesome. Yeah. With your events, I know I just want to touch on, obviously, the event in Memphis was 7,000 people. I know that's something that all your team must have just been absolutely blown away. What does that do for you and for your team? Just so people who haven't been to big conferences before, just sort of share your experiences of that and what it's done for you.
Yeah, look, last year when I met you, I'd been doing the business for about 8 weeks, and And you know, in the beginning, honestly, when I did this, I made a decision. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to find success in this. And my belief around that it can be done was strong. And I just had faith in the beginning. You know, Linda last year said to me, this time last year, she said, "You've got to come to conference. You've got to come to the US." And to be honest, guys, we weren't in a position to do that. I remember going home with a ticket to America in my hand, and my wife wanted to kill me. She was like, "What are you doing? You've lost the plot. When you can't go like our traditional business." And to be honest, and then to put even a bigger strangle on it, I literally had no staff to look after my gym 3 weeks out from going to conference. I was like considering having to shut the gym down for 2 weeks while I went to conference. And my wife was like, she was ropeable. And Linda, because she was good friends with us, risked everything to look like I'm friendship with my wife. And I just said to her, "Look, you got to trust me. Like I'm just going to have to throw myself at this and have faith." I think a lot of people kind of dip their toe in this and they expect to have success. I'm telling you, if you want to have success, then because people buy you, if people don't get that you're all in, then you can't expect anyone else to be. And I think that's a really important thing to do. So I went to conference. Not only did I go, but we then inspired 3 of my team members to come. And it's no surprise that those 3 guys that came last year are in the top 5 earners in our team. I don't think there's any surprise at all. Now, what's exciting, there was only 3 last year, and I'm off to the US for the same conference tomorrow, and we've got 30 of our team going, which is just awesome to have 30 people go to the international conference. And I truly believe, guys, that every team member that you can get to go to conference, you can add an extra $10,000 pretty much to for your earnings for the next 12 months, because those guys are going to be inspired. I can't guarantee that, by the way. I don't want anyone getting me in trouble for that. But I think the level, our business is about belief. You know, when people see 7,000-8,000 people that together, they see the big vision, they see what could be possible. You know, what's exciting for me is this year, like I said, I'm taking my wife to the US conference, and she definitely has belief in this now because we're doing really well. But what this will take her after conference will be nuts, and she's building a very, very fast business. So it's exciting what's possible. And to think 30 other crazy Juice Plus Aussie crew out of our team coming back, the next 12 months, I feel like we haven't even started here from what we're creating. It's going to be crazy.
Amazing. I mean, I was there with you in Memphis. I've been to quite a few, Phoenix, I've been to Sacramento, California, I've been to the European ones. It doesn't matter where they are. I mean, we got one, unfortunately, I would have gone to Nashville, but we got our one in Brighton the same weekend. So I know, and all the success leaves clues. And the people who are successful in this team and in the business around the world go to events, and they get their team to events, and their teams duplicate that success. Yeah. If anyone's on this call that's umming and ahhing about coming to conference, guys, you need to find some way to get there, because it will just do something to you that changes everything. Yeah. And I just want to give you the final question. So what is your vision for the? What's the future hold for you now? What are you going to do over the next year, and where do you see yourself in the next year to 3 to 5 years?
I think it's the sky's the limit. I've got no doubt that we're going to create absolute success. We're doing really well now. We're earning really good money, and but to think that we've been doing this for just over 12 months, and here in Australia, we've just starting to build really massive momentum. I think last month there was about 80 new people that joined our team. There was like 600 new customers. To think that right now we're kind of growing since we've implemented Zoom events and how quickly we can reach out to people. Our business, like my personal business, which is our team, it's growing at like 30% a month. 30% jump, which is just crazy. It was kind of steady 10 to 15% every month, and then since July it's been like 30%, which is just crazy. And I've definitely I like numbers, and I like to kind of keep an eye on stats and stuff, and I look at the growth and what this will be in the next 12 months. To think that we've kind of just, in the last 12 months, we've kind of just carved a pathway and the momentum, you know, and I've seen this even in my wife's business. You know, she set up her own Juice Plus business, and she went from SSC to QNMD. Normally that takes 4 months here in Australia. She just did it in just over 2 months. And she'll be NMD like 4 months after that. So it's just like the momentum here in Australia. And I think that's, don't get me wrong, it doesn't happen overnight, guys. You know, that's been, you know, 16 months of us putting our head down and having a vision. But yeah, look, it's the lifestyle, you know, to be able to travel. We've even homeschooled our kids now because we just see the vision of, you know, packing everything up and traveling for 3 months and building a, you know, and on the way we might build a team wherever we end up and have some fun. So I think, you know, I think it's the life that people often dream about. I've got really good friends that are earning stupid amounts of money, but what crazy. And don't get me wrong, I always say this to people, you know, often we think, oh, come on, this seems too good to be true. And I'm transparent on that. Well, I let people know, I know this seems too good to be true. Don't worry, I know. Because we're almost conditioned. The only way you can get ahead in life is that you have to work 60, 70 hours a week, and you have to choose one or the other in life. You have to choose financial success, and you're going to have to give up some stuff, or you have to choose lifestyle. And you know what? This business can give it all. You can have everything in this business, and more and more people are waking up to this industry. More and more people see that it's an amazing opportunity, and you know, the leverage that we have. We don't have to do it like the Jeff Robertis did it back in the day. Like, just gotta, like, I have the utmost respect for that guy. The work that he had to do, you know, putting ads in papers and have his phone ring all day for 4 days to then do 4 events and, you know, not even have a fax machine, how to compute. Like, this business is so easy now. You know, when I hung out with Jeff about 3 months ago, I said, you know, what's the potential? What do you see the potential of our industry and our business? And, you know, he just said, you know, he believes, and I respect that guy so much. He believes that in the next 10 years, we're going to see people that are going to be earning 7 figures a month doing this business. Because of the reach that we have through social media and the internet, and how we, like, you know, I'm on this call and I'm on the other side of the world. Like, you know, it's just so easy to do that. We can have team all over the world, and that can, you know, blossom into anything. So, yeah, I'm excited. There's no doubt. I'm excited about what life has to bring for us, and the money that, you know, and look, money's important, and it's, you know, but it's what you do with that money, investments, and, you know, just set our kids up for the rest of their life, so they can truly have the life that, you know, probably I dreamed of as a kid. I don't want to give it to them all. I want them to do it a bit hard so they know how to, you know, have a good attitude to working hard. But, you know, yeah, it's kind of a dream.
Yeah, mate, I totally feel you on that. Everything you're saying is kind of what's happening with myself, and seeing guys in the team change their lives for it. And it's great. It just duplicates everything you're saying is happening to you, and it's truth, and that's all you have to share. And I mean, the key thing that you're saying there is about reach. And guys, you see there's so much value of this Zoom call tonight. I'm sure you do. And the Zoom calls that we're doing is giving you a chance to home into these events from all over the world. We've got people in Europe on this call tonight, Australia, you know, all across the UK and various other countries. You can see the potential of this. You can go away and run these little calls with your teams. I know that obviously Adam's doing that on a weekly basis. You can do one-to-ones with your prospects on here. You can bring in another person on the call. So getting these Zoom calls regularly per week, jumping on them. And something that Adam said, very important, I'm trying to say it all the time, people will do what you do. So if you want to be successful, you've got to stand up and put your hand up and say, you know, if I want people to get on the Zoom calls, I need to be on the Zoom calls. If I want people to come to events, I got to be there at the events. And if people don't get, if the people that you invited don't get on, don't get down about it. But at least you know you're there leading by the front. At every angle of this business, if you can lead from the front, people will respect you. They know you're in it 100%, and they will get on there with you. And that's really, really important message to share. with what you said. Adam, I mean, if there's one single tip now that you would offer someone new to the business or any bit of advice, what would you say to them before we finish?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that, because there was one really important part that it's about belief. More than anything in this business, it's about belief. It's belief in the products. You know, make sure you're being a product of the product and you're using them both properly, and you really build your own story. It's belief about this company, you know, getting yourself to conference. You know, there's nothing better than you really see the big vision when you do that. You know, the children's health, all the things that go with this company. It's been around for 45 years. You know, it's one of the top MLM companies in the world. The people involved in it, you know, and then the last thing is this industry. More important than anything, belief in this industry, guys. You're going to have the naysayers, the people that say, oh, it's a pyramid thing, or, oh, yeah, I've done one of those. But if you believe in this thing, you know, there's some great books around that. The 4-Year Career is just a great book to read, to really understand that this is a very, very smart way. And when you're not wavered by that, you don't care what people say. You know, when you're trying to run around and convince people otherwise, I want to let you know that you're trying to convince yourself generally. You know, have the belief. Honestly, I don't care what people say. I really don't. It's not my prerogative to worry about their opinion. I know what I know. I know what I believe. I know how much it's changed my life, and I know how much more it's going to change my life. So just when you have that, the work that you do today can literally pay you for the rest of your life, like this business can. So just build on your belief, guys. Get on the calls, get to the conference, get around people that are successful in this. You still there, Jen? We lost James.
We seem to have lost James.
I think we're going to finish
Okay.
it up now. Adam, brilliant. I mean, that was just so unbelievable. I can't believe that you've been doing this for 16 months. You've got the inspiration, the drive, the wisdom of someone who's been at it, you know, for years and years and years. So I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on today, giving up your time. I mean, that was just awesome. So thank you very, very much indeed. And have an incredible time in Nashville. I mean, wow, with 30 people going with you, you are going to be a giant in our business. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for joining us. And we'll be back again very soon. And have a wonderful rest
Thanks,
of the week.
James.
Take care, everyone. Bye. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
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 Bye.